In today's video, I am going to be breaking down Micheal Porter Jr. and how he shoots the basketball. He is a very good three-point shooter in the NBA, and of course, this is a great forum to be able to see what things that we can do better as shooters ourselves. So let's get down, let's check out Micheal Porter Jr. And if you want to shoot the basketball from further away, make sure to go check out my shooting workout that is down in the description below. Now let's get down, let's check out Micheal Porter Jr. Okay, so what is the first thing that we should really look at when it comes to a shot? Well, when he receives that ball, in this clip, what do we see? Well, he dips the ball down to his waist, and then he extends that ball up at the exact same time as extending his knees and his hips and his lower back. This is going to give good energy transfer. You don't want to have the ball lift while you are going down to prepare to jump. You want everything to be going in motion. Knees, hips, ball, all extending at the exact same time. I do notice that in a lot of his shots that his feet are pretty close together. Now, everyone is going to have a different shooting form. That's why we make these videos. Generally speaking, you want to have your feet shoulder width apart. A little bit wider base sometimes gives you more power on your shot, a little bit more stability. However, at the same time, he does have a high percentage. When he goes up for his shot, he does have a two-motion shot. We can see that it does freeze at his forehead for a bit of time. And we can see that he doesn't have your traditional shot form either. Usually what you'll hear a lot of shot trainers talk about is 90 on the shoulder and 90 on the elbow and then 90 on the wrist. However, what we do see is 130 roughly degrees on his shoulder, and we see about 65 degrees on his elbow. For some players, this will give more power into their shot, especially for players who have a two-motion shot. A two-motion shot tends to take power away from your shot, so by having more bend in that elbow, that can give a little bit more power to that ball when they're extending up. Now, he does lock his elbow. Some players don't lock their elbows. He does. And he has a soft release. A hard release would be like Michael Jordan, where the wrist is like this and the hand is straight. While with Micheal Porter Jr., the hand kind of curls. That's a soft release that will get more arc on that ball. A hard release will give more backspin. We can also see, because the palm is facing out this way, that he has zero thumb flick as well. One thing I do notice in his shot, though, is when he goes up, he tends to bend his knees while in the air. That's kind of an interesting thing. Not too sure if it affects his shot or not, but he does shoot over that minimum 33% in most cases, so he still has a very good shot. And then, of course, when we see the ball in the air, what you would like to see the downwards trajectory of the ball to be roughly between 42-ish and 45 degrees. I've said this in other videos. If you have too high of an arc, if the ball hits the rim, there's a higher probability of it bouncing out. If it comes in too shallow, the rim is going to look like this, and it's going to basically bounce around and bounce out of the rim. You don't want that. You want the rim to still look big to the ball. However, you don't want that high arc because of gravity. So by coming down at roughly 40-ish degrees, 45 degrees in that range, we can actually see in this app where it's currently sitting, and it's roughly around that 41 degrees, which is in that range that you want to be at. And yes, he does make this shot. We can also see that his shoulders, hips, knees, and feet are all pointing away from the rim. The rim is this way, while everything else is pointed towards the baseline. What does this mean? Well, a lot of old school coaches say you need to be squared up to the basket. Everything needs to be squared up. Well, guess what? If everything is squared up, you may not be able to get your elbow under the ball. And that has to be your main goal. You have to get that shoulder and elbow and ball in line to create what I call the shooting triangle. If the shoulder and elbow are in line, but the ball is like way over towards the left side, like Lonzo Ball kind of older style shot, you're going to find that that ball goes out towards the left side. This right here is your aim. So by getting that ball at least a quarter over the upper arm or shoulder, and then having that elbow in line with the shoulder where it's pointed towards the rim, this is what's going to allow you to be able to have a straight shot. At this time, you just need to play with power. You get more power by having a strong lower back because you want to dip your shoulders to create more power going up. You obviously want to have good quads, good hamstrings. You want to have strong calves as well as a very springy Achilles. This is all what's going to help you get higher up and more power onto your shot. So if you're looking to have a stronger shot, generally speaking, lower back, legs, that is what's going to give you more strength and power behind your shot to extend your range. And a lot of the exercises that we do in the hardest shooting workout that is down in the description will help you in those locations. We can also see because of the shadow that there is a little bit of a space between the palm and the ball. Depending on the player, you may want to take and remove a lot of the gap. You want to have very limited gap. That's going to allow you to have more touch points on the ball. And what that's going to do for you is that's going to allow you to have that ball easier going off of the pointer and middle finger so that you have, a straighter shot. We can also see from this angle that the ball tends to sit on the fingers and a little bit of the palm of the ball. And then when he goes to release, we can see that he gets his elbow above his forehead. This is also going to help him get more arc on that shot. We can also see that he slightly has his feet go out and his shoulders go back. That will also give him more power on his shot. Sometimes you'll notice a player that normally has a longer follow through like Porter, that he will have his hand usually stay up for a long period of time. However, sometimes when you're covered and you need to get that shot off quick, you pull your arm back down as we see right here. What this is going to do, it's almost like a punch in boxing where you want to pull back your punch after you make it. And what I mean by that is if you're here boxing and you want to punch and you want to pull back your punch faster, that's going to be a faster punch so that you can give more punches. However, when it comes to shooting, by doing a quick release and pulling back your arm, while that may be against what every single shooting coach will ever say, if you want a faster release, that is going to allow you to have a faster release. However, you have to keep in mind that you have to practice that. You can't just go into a game and be like, just release really quickly. It's not going to work like that because you're going to miss your shot. It could be ending up too far. It could be too short. You need to practice those types of shots in a gym or on a court before you do it in game, because that is an unconventional shot. And if you are not used to it, guess what? You are not going to be making that in game. A lot of players have the misconception that, hey, I can just practice it maybe a day and go onto the court and do it. No, it doesn't work like that. 99.99999% of people, if you want to be able to be successful with something, you need to practice something thousands of times. You can't just be like, I need to change my form and be like, oh, I got it. No, it doesn't work like that. Some people will say, I need to change my form. Oh, this new form doesn't work. I need to go to another form. This new form doesn't work. Oh, this new form doesn't work. Try new form. Doesn't work. Guess what? If you only took 100 shots with a brand new form, it's not going to work. Nothing will ever work because that new form is not muscle memory yet. Whether that could be the most perfect shot form, whether it be Curry or Klay Thompson or whatever you classify as the most perfect shot form, you could literally have a Klay Thompson style shot form and it won't work for you because you just haven't practiced it. So keep that in mind. I hope that this video has helped you. If it has, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time.